I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. Learning never exhausts the mind. Art is never finished, only abandoned. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass, and never knows where he may cast. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. Every action needs to be prompted by a motive. The smallest feline is a masterpiece. The beginnings and ends of shadow lie between the light and darkness, and may be infinitely diminished and infinitely increased. Shadow is the means by which bodies display their form. The forms of bodies could not be understood in detail but for shadow. Anyone who conducts an argument by appealing to authority is not using his intelligence, he is just using his memory. Men of lofty genius sometimes accomplish the most when they work least, for their minds are occupied with their ideas and the perfection of their conceptions, to which they afterwards give form. The human bird shall take his first flight, filling the world with amazement, all writings with his fame, and bringing eternal glory to the nest whence he sprang. Nature never breaks her own laws. You duel if you praise, but worse if you censure what you do not understand. The mind of the painter must resemble a mirror, which always takes the color of the object it reflects and is completely occupied by the images of as many objects as are in front of it. To such an extent does nature delight and abound in variety, that among her trees there is not one plant to be found which is exactly like another, and not only among the plants, but among the boughs, the leaves and the fruits, you will not find one which is exactly similar to another. Knowledge of the past and of the places of the earth is the food of the mind of man. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. Tears come from the heart and not from the brain. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws. She has no effect without cause, nor invention without necessity. While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. Iron rusts from disuse. Water loses its purity from stagnation. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. Blinding ignorance does mislead us. O wretched mortals, open your eyes. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind. Human subtlety will never devise an invention more beautiful, more simple or more direct than does nature, because in her inventions nothing is lacking and nothing is superfluous. He who sows virtue reaps honor. You can have no dominion greater or less than that over yourself. The natural desire of good men is knowledge. Just as food eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so does study without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. The truth of things is the chief nutriment of superior intellects. As every divided kingdom falls, so every mind divided between many studies confounds and saps itself. Science is the captain and practice the soldiers. Necessity is the mistress and guide of nature. Necessity is the theme and inventress of nature, her curb and her eternal law. Good men by nature wish to know. I know that many will call this useless work, men who desire nothing but material riches, and are absolutely devoid of that of wisdom, which is the food and only true riches of the mind. The length of a man's outspread arms is equal to his height. I have always felt it is my destiny to build a machine that would allow man to fly. How many emperors and how many princes have lived and died, and no record of them remains, and they only sought to gain dominions and riches in order that their fame might be everlasting. Truly, great love springs from great knowledge of the beloved object, and if you little know it, you will be able to love it only little or not at all. Medicine is the restoration of discordant elements. Sickness is the discord of the elements infused into the living body. Time abides long enough for those who make use of it. The spirit desires to remain with its body because, without the organic instruments of that body, it can neither act nor feel anything. Our body is dependent on heaven and heaven on the spirit. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. Thank you. Take care and rise. May humanity go beyond its limits and be limitless.